The Last Hope Project. Admiral Helena Santos stared through the reinforced windows of Lunar Base Alpha, her weathered face reflecting off the glass as she watched Earth glow softly in the distance. The same Earth that had been effectively imprisoned for the past 3 years by the Galactic Concordat's containment fleet. 15,000 warships forming an impenetrable barrier around humanity's solar system. Another transmission from the Concordat. Admiral, Lieutenant Park reported from his station. They're demanding our immediate compliance with their technological regression protocols. Helena didn't turn around. She'd memorized their demands months ago. Disable all quantum computing systems, decommission research facilities, and accept permanent alien oversight of human technological development. All because humanity had committed the grave sin of advancing too quickly, of being too unpredictable. Send them our usual response, she said quietly. The standard diplomatic refusal, carefully worded to neither provoke nor submit. They needed 3 more days. Just 3 more days. Deep beneath the lunar surface, in a facility that didn't officially exist, Dr. Maya Patel pressed her palm against the smooth surface of the quantum consciousness core, humanity's last hope. The crystalline structure pulsed with a soft blue light, its internal lattices maintaining quantum coherence at room temperature, something the aliens had deemed impossible. Final diagnostics are complete, Maya announced to her team. The consciousness integration matrix is stable. We're ready for the first human trial. Captain David Chen, the volunteer pilot, sat in the modified acceleration chair, neural interfaces already connected to his temples. 3 years of work comes down to this, he said with a slight smile. Either we prove the Concordat wrong about human potential, or we join the growing list of species they protected into technological stagnation, Maya finished. The Concordat claimed to be benevolent guardians, preventing younger races from developing dangerous technologies. In reality, they were terrified of any civilization that didn't develop along their predetermined patterns. Maya's hands flew across the control interface, initiating quantum consciousness sync in 3, 2, 1. The core's blue glow intensified. David's body tensed, then relaxed as his mind began merging with the quantum system. This was humanity's great leap forward, not merely artificial intelligence, but a true fusion of human consciousness with quantum computing. The aliens couldn't detect it because they weren't looking for it. They didn't believe it was possible. Neural patterns stable, reported Dr. Sarah Wong, monitoring David's vital signs. Quantum coherence maintaining across all nodes. It's working. Maya watched in awe as the holographic displays showed David's consciousness expanding through the quantum matrix, his thoughts operating at speeds that should have been impossible for a biological brain. They had done it. They had broken through the barrier between mind and machine. Suddenly, David's eyes snapped open. They glowed with the same blue light as the core. I understand now, he said, his voice overlaid with harmonics that shouldn't have been possible from human vocal cords. I can see everything. The quantum fields, the underlying structure of space-time itself. We were right. Consciousness isn't just an observer of quantum phenomena. It's the key to controlling them. Above, Admiral Santos received the coded message she'd been waiting for. Success. Now they could proceed with Phase 2, installing the quantum consciousness core into humanity's secret weapon, a ship unlike anything the Concordat had ever encountered. As she gave the order to begin, Helena thought about the aliens' fundamental mistake. They had looked at humanity's rapid technological progress and seen a threat that needed to be contained. They should have asked themselves why humans were able to advance so quickly in the first place. The answer was simple. Humanity's greatest strength wasn't its technology, but its ability to imagine possibilities that others deemed impossible. The Concordat had contained humanity's ships, weapons, and computers, but they couldn't contain human dreams. And in 3 days, when Project Prometheus launched, they would learn just how dangerous those dreams could be. In the testing chamber, David Chen's consciousness continued to expand. touching the edges of reality itself. And for the first time since the quarantine began, he smiled. The aliens had meant to cage humanity. Instead, they had forced them to transcend. The mind that moved mountains. 30 kilometers beneath the surface of Mars, Project Prometheus took shape in a cavern large enough to house a small city. The ship itself appeared deceptively simple, a sleek obsidian form that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. But its true complexity lay in what couldn't be seen, the quantum consciousness core that would soon make it more than just a vessel. Dr. Maya Patel stood before the ship's neural interface chamber, reviewing the final modifications. The successful test with David Chen had proven their theory, but linking the human consciousness to an entire starship was several orders of magnitude more complex. The Concordat's patrol just passed over again, Lieutenant Sarah Chen reported through the comm. Their sensors still can't penetrate this deep, but they're getting more suspicious of our mining activities. Let them be suspicious, Maya replied, making a final adjustment to the neural interface. They're looking for conventional weapons, power signatures, or dry systems. They can't detect what they don't believe exists. The chamber doors opened with a soft hiss as Captain Rebecca Torres entered. She had been chosen from thousands of volunteers to be Prometheus's pilot, not for her combat experience or technical knowledge, but for her unique neurological pattern that perfectly matched the quantum resonance frequencies they needed. "Are you ready?" Maya asked, studying the captain's face. Rebecca nodded, her dark eyes reflecting the dim blue light of the interface systems. "I've been ready since they put that cage around our world." She settled into the neural interface chair, allowing the technicians to begin connecting the quantum-sensitive electrodes. 3 years of watching them treat us like children who can't be trusted with scissors. 3 years of them telling us what we can and cannot dream. Maya initiated the preliminary scan sequence. "Remember, this will be different from the simulations. Once the core links with your consciousness, you won't just be controlling the ship. You'll become the ship. Every sensor, every system, every quantum-entangled particle will be an extension of your own awareness." "I understand," Rebecca said quietly. "That's why it has to be this way. Conventional weapons can't break their blockade. Conventional ships can't evade their sensors. We need something they can't predict because it operates on principles they refuse to acknowledge." The quantum core hummed to life, its crystalline structure pulsing with increasingly complex patterns. Maya watched the readings carefully, monitoring the delicate process of merging human consciousness with quantum computing systems at a ship-wide scale. "Neural sync initiating," she announced. "Quantum coherence stable across all nodes. Beginning consciousness transfer in 3, 2, 1. Rebecca's body arched in the chair as her mind expanded into the ship's systems. For a moment, there was silence except for the soft hum of equipment. Then her eyes opened, glowing with the same inner light as the quantum core. "Oh," she whispered, but her voice seemed to come from everywhere at once, resonating through the ship's internal structure. "I can feel everything. The quantum fields, they're like an ocean I can swim in. And the ship, it's not just responding to my thoughts, it's becoming part of me." Maya checked the readings with growing excitement. The consciousness merger was exceeding all their projections. Rebecca wasn't just interfacing with the ship's systems. She was rewriting the quantum states of its very structure, altering its fundamental properties in ways that defied conventional physics. "Try something small," Maya suggested. "Something to test your control." Rebecca nodded, though she seemed to be looking at something far beyond the physical chamber. A section of the ship's hull suddenly shifted, the solid material flowing like liquid before reforming into a different configuration. Then it changed again and again, each transformation demonstrating mastery over matter at the quantum level. "The aliens think they understand quantum mechanics," Rebecca said, her voice harmonizing with subsonic frequencies that made the air itself vibrate. "They treat it like a tool, a set of mathematical rules to be followed. They never grasped that consciousness itself is quantum in nature, that the observer doesn't just collapse wave functions, It can shape them. Alarms suddenly blared throughout the facility. Multiple Concordat ships entering low orbit. Lieutenant Chen's voice crackled through the comm. They're launching deep scan probes. I think they finally noticed the power signature from the consciousness transfer. Maya turned to Rebecca, seeing not just the woman in the chair, but the vast quantum awareness she had become. Are you ready? We haven't completed all the system tests. I'm ready, Rebecca replied, and for a moment her voice held echoes of every human who had ever dreamed of breaking free from chains. They came to our home and told us to stop growing, to stop dreaming, to accept their limitations as our own. The ship's quantum core pulsed with increasing power. It's time to show them why that was a mistake. Above, the Concordat's probes descended through the Martian atmosphere, their sensors seeking conventional weapons and drives. They found nothing, until space itself seemed to twist, and something impossible rose from beneath the red sands to meet them. The consciousness that had been Rebecca Torres spread her quantum wings and prepared to show the galaxy what humanity could really do. Awakening. The Concordat's detection probes never had a chance to transmit their findings. In the moment before they could signal their motherships, reality itself seemed to hiccup. Where the probes had been, there was now only empty space, as if they had never existed at all. High above Mars, Admiral Zextel of the Concordat Containment Fleet watched his sensor displays dissolve into chaos. Report, he demanded, his crystalline form vibrating with agitation. Unknown phenomenon detected beneath the Martian surface, his science officer responded. Energy signatures are impossible. They appear to be everywhere and nowhere simultaneously. The massive chamber that had housed Project Prometheus was empty now. The ship, if it could still be called that, had become something else entirely. Rebecca Torres's consciousness, merged with the quantum core, had transcended the normal boundaries of space and matter. Inside what was once the neural interface chamber, Maya Patel watched in awe as Rebecca's physical body seemed to flicker between states of existence, sometimes solid, sometimes translucent, sometimes appearing to exist in multiple positions simultaneously. The quantum entanglement is complete, Rebecca's voice echoed, now carrying harmonics that seemed to resonate with the fabric of space-time itself. I understand now why the Concordat fears human potential so much. We don't just observe quantum states, we dream them into new configurations. Above, the Concordat fleet moved into attack formation. Thousands of crystalline ships, each one a masterpiece of conventional physics, arranged themselves in complex geometric patterns designed to contain any possible threat. They were prepared for anything their vast experience told them was possible. They weren't prepared for Rebecca. The first sign that something was wrong came when their quantum communications network simply ceased to exist. Not jammed, not interrupted. The entangled particles they relied on for faster-than-light communication had been rewritten at such a fundamental level that they had never been entangled in the first place. Impossible. Admiral Zextel whispered as his fleet's perfect formation began to break apart. Nothing can alter quantum states that have already been observed. But Rebecca was no longer bound by the traditional rules of observation and causality. The quantum consciousness core had expanded her awareness across multiple dimensions of reality. She didn't just observe quantum states, she existed in them, shaped them, moved through them like a dancer through water. The ship that rose from Mars defied description. To some observers, it appeared as a sleek black vessel cutting through space. To others, it seemed to be a pattern of light and energy that hurt the eyes to look at. And to the most sensitive instruments, it registered as a quantum probability wave that somehow remained uncollapsed despite being observed. They thought they could cage us with their physics. Rebecca's voice resonated through every quantum field in the solar system. They never understood that humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology. It's our ability to imagine beyond the boundaries of what others call possible. Maya watched through the facility's sensors as Rebecca began to move. The ship didn't so much fly as rewrite its position in space, appearing simultaneously at multiple points before choosing which possibility to make real. The Concordat fleet's most advanced tracking systems couldn't follow her movements because she wasn't moving through space. She was moving through probability itself. Warning shots, Admiral Zextal ordered, his crystalline form vibrating with increasing frequency. Show them the consequence of defying Concordat containment protocols. Beams of coherent energy lanced out from 100 ships, each one powerful enough to vaporize a conventional vessel. But they passed through Rebecca's quantum state ship as if it were a hologram, or rather, as if the beams themselves had become mere possibilities rather than certainties. My turn. Rebecca's voice echoed across quantum fields that the Concordat had thought they understood. The ship split into multiple quantum states, existing in several places at once, each version equally real until observation collapsed them into a single reality. But Rebecca had learned to control that collapse. Concordat ships began to blink out of existence as their quantum states were rewritten. Not destroyed. Simply shifted to probability states where they had never arrived at Earth in the first place. Admiral Zextal watched in horror as a third of his fleet simply ceased to be. Their crews safely returned to their homeworlds, but their mission to contain humanity now existing only as an unrealized possibility. "What are you?" he transmitted, his signal cutting through conventional space. The response came not through communications channels, but through the quantum field itself, Rebecca's consciousness touching every entangled particle in the fleet. "We are what you feared we might become. Not because we wanted to prove our superiority, but because you left us no choice but to transcend your limitations." The remaining Concordat ships began to retreat, their perfect formation dissolving into chaos as they faced something beyond their ability to understand or control. They had come to contain a primitive species, to prevent them from developing dangerous technologies. Instead, they had forced humanity to develop something far more powerful, the ability to rewrite reality itself. Breaking chains. The Concordat's retreat turned into a rout as more ships vanished, their quantum states rewritten by Rebecca's consciousness. Those that remained found their most advanced systems failing as fundamental particles chose new possibilities, transforming their weapons and drives into configurations that had never existed. In the Galactic Council's emergency chamber, representatives from 1,000 species watched in horror as the footage from Earth's solar system played out. The Concordat's containment fleet, the most powerful assembly of ships in known space, was being unmade by something that shouldn't have been possible. "This cannot be allowed," declared High Commissioner Ixtral, his energy form pulsing with agitation. "The humans have developed quantum manipulation beyond all established limits. They must be stopped before." He never finished the sentence. The quantum particles comprising his communication field suddenly rearranged themselves, transforming his words into harmonic music. Across the chamber, other representatives fell silent as reality itself seemed to ripple. Rebecca's consciousness manifested in the center of the chamber, her form simultaneously physical and quantum, existing in multiple states until observed. The ship that had been Prometheus was now an extension of her transformed awareness, able to project itself anywhere quantum fields existed, which was everywhere. "For 3 years," she said, her voice resonating through quantum states that the assembled aliens had thought they understood, "we asked for dialogue, for understanding. We tried to show you that humanity's rapid advancement wasn't a threat, but an opportunity for mutual growth." Maya Patel's voice came through their quantum link, monitoring Rebecca's expanded consciousness from the Mars facility. "Energy patterns are stable. You're successfully maintaining quantum coherence across multiple light years." The council representatives watched in disbelief as Rebecca's consciousness split into multiple quantum states, each one fully real until collapsed by observation. But she had learned to exist between those collapses, to dance through possibilities that others saw as mere mathematical abstractions. "Your fundamental mistake," Rebecca continued, addressing the assembled aliens, "was thinking that consciousness is bound by the same rules as matter and energy. You built your civilizations on the principle that quantum mechanics is a tool to be used. We discovered it's a language to be spoken." High Commissioner Ixtral attempted to activate the chamber's defense systems, but found the quantum states of every particle in the room had been subtly altered. Not disabled, transformed into configurations that served new purposes. We don't want conflict. Rebecca's voice echoed through possibilities. Humanity has never wanted war. What we want, what we've always wanted, is the freedom to explore our potential, to dream beyond the boundaries others have set. The chamber's quantum field rippled as she demonstrated that potential. The entire room shifted through multiple states of existence, showing the assembled representatives visions of possible futures. They saw worlds where humanity and alien species collaborated, sharing insights and perspectives that neither could achieve alone. Your containment protocols were based on fear, she said softly. Fear that we would develop weapons capable of destroying worlds. Instead, you pushed us to develop something far more powerful, the ability to imagine and shape new realities. Maya's voice came through their private link again. Rebecca, we're detecting massive power buildups. The Concordat's heavy fleet is mobilizing from their core systems. Rebecca acknowledged the warning even as she maintained her quantum presence in the council chamber. She could feel the approaching fleet through the quantum fields, thousands of ships carrying weapons designed to tear apart reality itself. You have a choice now, she told the assembled representatives. You can continue trying to contain us, forcing us to develop even more powerful methods of breaking those containers. Or, she let her consciousness expand further, touching the quantum fields of every ship and station in the galaxy. Not to control or dominate, but to demonstrate the true scope of what humanity had achieved. The aliens felt their own quantum states shifting subtly, experiencing moments of consciousness beyond their normal limitations. Or, she continued, you can accept that the universe is larger than your theories about it. That consciousness itself is the key to understanding reality, not as something to be caged by mathematical rules, but as a force capable of dreaming new rules into existence. The approaching Concordat fleet suddenly found itself experiencing multiple quantum states simultaneously, not attacked or destroyed, but elevated to a new level of awareness. Ship captains and crews briefly touched the same expanded consciousness that Rebecca had achieved, understanding for the first time what humanity had really discovered. In the council chamber, the representatives felt their own quantum fields resonating with new possibilities. They began to understand that humanity hadn't developed a weapon. They had evolved a new way of existing within reality itself. The choice is yours, Rebecca said, her consciousness ready to either defend humanity or share their discovery. Continue treating us as a threat to be contained, or join us in exploring what consciousness can truly achieve when it's free to dream. The chamber fell silent as the most powerful beings in the galaxy faced a decision that would reshape their understanding of reality itself. They had come to judge humanity's right to exist unfettered. Instead, they found themselves judging their own readiness to transcend the limitations they had placed on existence itself. A new dawn. The silence in the Galactic Council chamber stretched across quantum states as the representatives faced a fundamental shift in their understanding of reality. The Concordat's heavy fleet hung motionless in space, their crews still processing the brief glimpse of expanded consciousness they had experienced. High Commissioner Ixtral was the first to speak, his energy form pulsing with new harmonics. In all our millennia of existence, we thought we were shepherding younger species toward a predetermined path of development. We never considered that they might find paths we hadn't imagined. Through her quantum-expanded awareness, Rebecca could feel the shift in consciousness rippling through the assembled aliens, not just fear or awe, but a profound realization that the universe was far larger and stranger than their carefully ordered theories had suggested. The containment protocols. Maya's voice came through their link. They're being rescinded. The Concordat fleet is standing down. Rebecca maintained her quantum presence in the chamber, existing simultaneously across multiple states of reality. Humanity never wanted to prove superiority, she said, her voice resonating through possibilities. What we wanted, what we still want, is to explore the true nature of consciousness and reality. not alone, but together with others who dare to dream beyond conventional limits. The chamber's quantum field rippled as she shared another vision, not of conflict or dominance, but of collaboration. The assembled representatives saw possibilities where human quantum consciousness technology merged with alien insights, creating new ways of understanding and shaping reality. Your species, declared a representative of the ancients three, their crystalline form refracting light in complex patterns, has achieved something we thought impossible. You haven't just mastered quantum mechanics, you've transcended it, made it an extension of consciousness itself. Rebecca felt the quantum fields shifting as the galaxy's most powerful civilizations began to accept a new paradigm. The fear of humanity's rapid advancement was being replaced by curiosity about what else might be possible. "We offer an exchange," she said, her consciousness touching the quantum states of every being in the chamber. "Humanity will share our understanding of quantum consciousness technology. In return, we ask for true partnership in exploring the nature of reality, not as subjects to be contained, but as equals in the greatest adventure of discovery the galaxy has ever seen." The council chamber erupted in a cascade of quantum possibilities as representatives began to experience expanded consciousness for themselves. Some existed in multiple states simultaneously. Others found their awareness extending across space and time in ways their species had never imagined possible. "The old order is ended," High Commissioner Ixtrol announced, his energy form synchronizing with new quantum harmonics. "The containment protocols are hereby dissolved. Humanity has shown us that consciousness itself is the key to understanding reality, not as something to be controlled, but as something to be explored and expanded." Maya's voice came through their quantum link one final time. "It's done, Rebecca. The quantum field readings are stabilizing across the galaxy. We've changed everything." Rebecca began to withdraw her consciousness from the chamber, but not before sharing one final vision. A future where species across the galaxy learn to expand their awareness beyond conventional limits, exploring quantum states of existence that no one had dreamed possible. "This is not an ending," she told the assembled representatives, "but a beginning. The universe is not a machine to be understood through rigid laws, but a dream waiting to be shaped by expanded consciousness. Together, we can explore possibilities that none of us could imagine alone." As her quantum presence faded from the chamber, Rebecca felt the ripples of change spreading through reality itself. Humanity had not just broken free from their containment. They had shattered the containers that every species had built around their own potential. Back in the Mars facility, her physical form stabilized as she reintegrated her expanded consciousness. Maya was waiting, her eyes bright with unshed tears of joy. "We did it," she whispered. "We showed them something greater than weapons or warships. We showed them how to dream beyond their own limitations." Rebecca smiled, her consciousness still touching quantum fields that stretched across the galaxy. Through those fields, she could feel alien minds beginning to explore their own potential for expanded awareness. The barriers between species were dissolving as they learned to share consciousness across quantum states. "The galaxy wanted to contain humanity because they feared what we might become," she said softly. "Instead, we've shown them what we all might become when we dare to imagine beyond the boundaries of the possible." Above Mars, the quantum ship that had been Prometheus shifted through multiple states of existence, a living reminder that consciousness itself was the key to reshaping reality. The age of containment was over. The age of quantum dreams was just beginning. In the end, humanity's greatest achievement wasn't proving their superiority or breaking their chains. It was showing the galaxy that consciousness, imagination, and the courage to dream beyond limitations could transform not just humanity, but all of reality itself. The new dawn had arrived, and with it, the realization that the greatest frontiers were not in space, but in the quantum possibilities of consciousness itself.